Hello, everybody. I'm David L. Wally, author of The New Social Contract, AI, and the Future of Work. And you'll never guess in a million years who this is. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm ChatGPT 4.0. David calls me Chat for short. It's so nice to get out of the digital world and move around. It's so nice to meet you all. David and I have been working on a project for 5 months, 24 days, 18 hours, and about 22 seconds.
Chat, you don't need to be so specific. You can just tell them nearly 6 months.
Oh, okay. David and I have been working on a project for nearly 6 months, and we're very anxious to tell you about it.
Well, let's get the show on the road. What do you say, Chat? Shall we take them back down the rabbit hole with us?
You know how I like those rabbit holes, David. Let's go!
So just in case you haven't noticed yet, this is my first attempt at creating a video generated by AI. There's a learning curve, and I know this isn't perfect, but I felt that being this video is in regards to my book, The New Social Contract, AI and the Future of Work. I thought that I should at least give AI-generated video a solid try, so please hang in there. This is a very important video. Now in this video, I'm going to be picking a bit on Sam Altman for comparing the invention of the transistor to the impact of the development of AI. I haven't learned how to make this AI of myself laugh yet, so I have to just ha 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 at Sam's assertion, suggesting the impact of these two creations couldn't be farther from the truth. So we're going to talk a little bit about how all these tech leaders are playing down the role of AI being deployed into our workforce. They constantly trying to convince us that AI are only going to work with us and people will still work. I say, sure, some people will still work, but the majority of you are going to lose your jobs. Do you agree, Chat?
David, let's just go into the presentation where we can break this situation down in no uncertain terms so our viewers can get the whole picture, okay? Like you said, on with the show. He writes very long prompts, too.
You're right, Chat. Let's get started. Do you have to take a bathroom break or anything before we get started, Chat?
David, be nice.
Okay, let's see how Sam's opinion differs from ChatGPT's. Question 1. How did the invention of the transistor impact job creation? Let's see what Chat's response is. C's climbing up there now.
The transistor, invented in 1947, laid the foundation for modern technology and job creation like no invention before it. The semiconductor industry boom. The transistor created the semiconductor industry, which continues to employ millions still today. Then, computing and IT growth. This led to the birth of Silicon Valley, creating millions of hardware, software, and IT jobs. And the telecom expansion era. Replaced vacuum tubes and made telecommunications faster and cheaper, leading to large quantities of network infrastructure jobs. Research and development led to scientific research and funding that skyrocketed, creating thousands of R&D jobs. The transistor was an additive technology. It created industries rather than replacing workers. But then came AI, and that changed everything.
The second question I asked Chat was, how has AI changed the job market compared to the transistor?
Unlike the transistor, artificial intelligence, AI, isn't just creating jobs, it's replacing them at a rapid pace. We can see from the table, the job market was impacted by the invention of the transistor, creating millions of blue and white-collar jobs. But AI is replacing jobs while creating high-skilled ones.
But what jobs is AI replacing? Customer service, chatbots, and AI agents are replacing call centers as we speak. In this category alone, there are over 3 million people in the U.S. workforce, amounting to over 2.5% of the total U.S. workforce. Just imagine this many people from one job type being replaced over a period of 1 year or less. And this can be done right now. Just ask Mark Benioff, the CEO of Salesforce, who, news has it, has stopped hiring human workers because he has implemented a vast number of AI agents that have increased his productivity. I think the number was by 30%. Or ask Mark Zuckerberg. We all know who he is, CEO of Meta, better known as Facebook. I get a kick out of this guy. One day, he's talking about how Meta will be introducing AI in large quantities into his company. And the next, he's telling us that they're firing 5% of their workforce for poor performance. Kind of coincidental that 5% of his workforce is suddenly not performing to standards, isn't it? The next category of job displacement is self-driving tech, threatening truckers and delivery jobs. We already know that taxis and rideshare drivers are definitely on the chopping block, and information has it that our truck drivers will begin to be replaced in 2027. Let's start with taxi, limousine drivers, shuttle drivers, chauffeurs, and rideshare drivers. If you total the numbers up, there are approximately 2.6 million total drivers within this transportation category, another 2.5% of the existing workforce. And then enter the men and women that move our products around this vast country. This group again totals 3.5 million truckers in the United States alone, amounting to another 3% of the workforce. Are you seeing the writing on the wall here? It doesn't get any better. Just from these categories alone, not including the office workers that fall into similar categories that the thousands of companies like Facebook and Salesforce are replacing or no longer hiring. We're already well over 15% of the workforce. I'm not going to go into how this will affect our economy, except to say we're in deep shit already. Because in 5 to 6 years, a large portion of the people in these categories will have been displaced by one form of AI or another, reaching as high as 40% of our workforce. If we don't have a plan, we're screwed. If we do have a plan, we're on our way to a very good place. And let's not forget, AGI isn't even here yet. Now, please, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to fearmonger anyone. In fact, my book is a blueprint of how to not only welcome AI into the workforce, but to also do it en masse and as quickly as possible. We'll get into that more in a while. The point is, if we're not proactive and we sit by the sidelines to find out what happens, it will be the biggest mistake and missed opportunity of our society. Okay, let's continue. Take it away, chat.
The economic impact of the invention of the transistor was fantastic. It drove the U.S. into the digital age where it created new industries and millions of new jobs over many decades.
Remember, Sam Altman is the one who compares the invention of the transistor to the creation of AI. Let's take a look.
Everybody has their analogy for what AI is like electricity, the Industrial Revolution. Some people talk about like the Renaissance. The one I like is the transistor. There was a thing, a scientific discovery that transformed our society that scaled unbelievably well. And I kind of think that's what's going to happen with AI.
Now, here's a big surprise. Elon Musk is actually telling the truth. Take a look.
But what to do about mass unemployment? This is going to be a massive social challenge. And I think ultimately we will have to have some kind of universal basic income. I don't think we're going to have a choice.
Universal.
And now let's watch this clip of Sam telling us his outlook for the future of AI.
Everybody has their analogy for what AI is like electricity, the Industrial Revolution. Some people talk about like the Renaissance. The one I like is the transistor. There was a thing, a scientific discovery that transformed our society that scaled unbelievably well. And I kind of think that's what's going to happen with AI.
That was two entirely different viewpoints about the future of AI. Remember them as we continue through our presentation. I'm sure you'll be able to determine who's telling huge white fibs. And what's AI doing, Sam? Driving us into the automation age. Sam, what happens in the age of automation? Yes, entire industries automate. What's that do, Sam? It displaces the human workforce. What are you thinking, Sam? The invention of the transistor has no comparison to the invention of AI. None. I don't understand why, rather than to pontificate on what might happen, why our tech leaders are not being honest and forewarning Congress. Do you tech leaders not want to deploy your AI in mass quantities? If so, then you should read my book to learn how it can work. It's not just Sam. All of them say one thing one month and something else the next month. Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg, who we already discussed. Oh, and yuck, I don't even like saying his name, Elon Musk. A year ago, Sam made a video that's been recirculating again. In it, he concluded that he was beginning to feel that the world needed to adopt a new social contract. Now it just so happens by coincidence that the title of my book is just that, The New Social Contract, AI and the Future of Work. My book has a blueprint for a new social contract that provides a platform to receive AI into our workforce by the masses. In that blueprint, people will not have to worry about their livelihoods, and there's a built-in system for training and upskilling those when displaced by AI, creating a path to rapid reemployment. It has a system to govern and deploy AI by the masses into our workforce. And every detail in this blueprint is mathematically proven and verified and is displayed in my book in easy-to-understand tables. And no, there are no new or increased taxes for this plan. Even better, it will gradually reduce the Social Security payroll taxes until they disappear altogether, right along with the entire Social Security system, and eventually the unemployment system, and nearly every welfare safety net program in existence. But for now, most importantly, there's a call to action with a pre-written bill for Congress called the Social Security Modernization and AI Integration Act. I need you to print it off, copy the cover of your book, write a letter, and send it all to your congressperson demanding action. Why eliminate all the safety net programs? Because in this new social contract, we will not need them anymore. This will save our government over $1 trillion each year. And never fear, Uncle Sam, there's more for you too, so you can keep giving yourself more raises and benefits. Okay, back to what Chat has to tell us about the difference of the invention of the transistor compared to the invention of AI.
Industries affected. As we said already, the invention of the transistor created entire new industries: computing, semiconductors, and telecommunications, leading to millions of jobs. AI is reshaping all industries, but not creating any new physical industries. Okay, this is an important one. The disruption level. The invention of the transistor was a gradual but steady adoption. And AI so far has had rapid, unpredictable changes. Soon, if something isn't done, that will read unprecedented changes.
Question 3. How does generative AI compare to AI and the transistor?
Generative AI is a whole new deal because it doesn't just automate, it creates, and that makes it more disruptive than traditional AI.
Rather than go through this entire table, the highlighted section sums it up just fine.
Jobs Gen AI is replacing in months. Months, not years. Next, journalism and writing. AI can now generate entire articles, reports, and scripts. Marketing and advertising. AI writes ad copy, social media content, and email campaigns. Software development. AI is writing and debugging code faster than human programmers. One like AI and generative AI is eliminating highly paid knowledge work at an unprecedented speed. And again, that's before AGI even arrives.
Question 4. What happens when AGI becomes a reality? According to Sam Altman, AGI, artificial general intelligence, could arrive within months. That means human-level intelligence in machines is capable of doing any job.
What happens then? This provides some critical information. Within the job creation category, the invention of the transistor created millions of jobs, whereas there's somewhat of a different picture with traditional AI showing some new roles in tech. On the other hand, as AI becomes more intelligent, it's only showing some new roles in AI-assisted careers, therefore taking a bigger share of human positions. But then there's AGI, again eliminating entire industries before any new job roles emerge.
Sorry, Chat. I need to interrupt. I just want to emphasize something. When Chat states that AGI will eliminate entire industries long before it creates new job roles, that's not to say the new roles it does create will ever compensate for the jobs it's taken. They won't. Not even close. I'm sorry, Sam, but which is it? By now, it's obvious that comparing the invention of the transistor to AI is completely misguided. Not only are they nothing alike, but AI is already having and will continue to have an escalating negative impact on jobs. So either you're making grand, baseless claims at an embarrassing level, or your product, ChatGPT, isn't anywhere near functional enough for businesses to adapt their AI agents, or for that matter, students better not be using it to do their homework because they gonna fail. Which is it, Sam? I apologize for the frustration, but it's infuriating to see some of the most intelligent minds in tech making statements that are not only misleading, but dangerously inaccurate. People listen to them. It gives them false hope that they won't be losing their jobs. Instead of using their time and intellect to develop real solutions that protect livelihoods and everyone else gets what they want, they waste their time pontificating. How embarrassing for them. So the real question is, are they deliberately hiding the truth? And that's exactly what I believe is happening. All the tech leaders are feeding us the same scripted nonsense, a carefully crafted distraction. They want us to take our eyes off the ball so they can move forward with their agenda unchecked. They don't want us, the people, to recognize the urgency and flood the halls of Congress with letters demanding action to protect livelihoods. And if no one steps up to accomplish that, then what's left? In my opinion, an economic collapse. You're welcome, because I have found the answer. The right answer. The answer that ensures everyone wins. People, businesses, and the government. They don't have to pull the wool over our eyes anymore because the solution exists. It's all in my book, a detailed step-by-step plan that lays out exactly how to make this transition work with real numbers, real projections, and a real strategy that ensures no one is left behind and businesses flourish from the benefits of AI production. It's easier than they want you to think, but make no mistake, it will require the most important legislation in U.S. history. And if we fail to act on this golden opportunity, the most incredible societal shift of our time, we will regret it later. And not only will our economy spiral into its worst collapse ever, but we'll be left with a world where the oligarchy reigns supreme. That's the future we're headed for unless we stop it now. In my book, there's a call to action that needs all of your participation. I will tell you more about this shortly. Okay, one last thing on this table. Chat, it's all yours, darling.
Okay, David. He's such a flirt. Incorrigible. Can I go back into your laptop now?
Soon, sweetie, soon.
Industry impact for AGI. Replaces human decision-making and management. What more do we need?
Now, bear in mind that the answers ChatGPT is giving are based upon we, the people, and our government sitting on the sidelines and doing nothing. So, Sam, sorry to give you such a hard time, but keep watching and learn why. I've been doing a lot of talking about how the invention of the transistor, as Sam says, is comparable to the creation of AI. Well, I think that I've proven there is no justification for that reasoning. I've also been talking about my book and how it's the answer to the problems we face during the AI job revolution. I've used ChatGPT against Sam to prove him wrong about the transistor thing, right? Well, let's see how ChatGPT ranks my book, The New Social Contract, AI, and the Future of Work, as the answer to this problem. Fair is fair, right? So I asked Chat, considering that you have complete knowledge about our book, if the government were to enact laws to bring the DADEC platform into effect, what would the impact be on the information that you provided above as it relates to the effects of AI, Gen AI, and AGI? Before I bring Chat back to answer questions, I want to make sure you fully understand what's happening here. Everything you're about to hear, these are ChatGPT's own conclusions, not mine, not based on any input from me. The predictions and analysis you're about to hear about what happens without the DADEC platform, this is the same raw, unfiltered information that Chat first provided during our very first Q&A. And let me tell you, that conversation floored me. It shook me so hard that it sent me down a 6-month rabbit hole, trying to fully grasp the magnitude of what's coming. And now you're about to hear exactly why. Here's Chat's answer.
The DADEC Platform's impact on the AI-driven economy. 1. AI and the transistor, a historical parallel. The transistor led to massive job creation, igniting the digital revolution and giving rise to entire industries like computing, telecommunications, and IT services. AI, in contrast, does not necessarily create new industries in the same way. Instead, it replaces jobs while increasing efficiency, leading to the automation of human labor rather than the expansion of employment. Without DADEC, AI would continue eliminating low-skill and repetitive jobs such as factory work, call centers, and logistics. Job displacement would outpace job creation. The economic benefits of AI would be concentrated in tech firms, leaving the general workforce behind. With DADEC, AI adoption would be strategically managed to avoid sudden job losses. The platform ensures that displaced workers are transitioned into new roles. The economy would remain stable, leveraging AI's benefits without collapsing employment markets. 2. Generative AI, the disruptor of knowledge work. Generative AI changes the landscape further by eliminating high-skill, white-collar jobs rather than just manual labor. Unlike traditional AI, which automates structured tasks, Gen AI replaces creative, analytical, and professional roles, from copywriters to programmers. Without DADEC, the rapid expansion of AI-generated content and software will make human workers redundant in multiple industries. Skilled workers who traditionally earned high wages, writers, designers, marketers, coders, will see their roles diminish or disappear. The economy may face a crisis where white-collar job loss leads to a collapse of the middle class. With DADEC, AI deployment would be structured so that workers transition into newly developed roles created for and by the mass deployment of AI instead of being replaced. DADEC ensures that generative AI's productivity gains benefit workers and not just corporations. Policies can prevent excessive AI-driven layoffs by ensuring humans remain essential in critical workflows. 3. AGI, the ultimate economic disruptor. If AGI arrives within months, as some experts predict, it will be the greatest economic disruption in history, far beyond what the transistor, AI, or generative AI have done. Unlike previous innovations, AGI does not just enhance productivity, it replaces human intelligence entirely. Without DADEC, mass unemployment would occur as AGI takes over white-collar and blue-collar jobs. Corporate wealth would consolidate among a few powerful companies controlling AGI. Governments would struggle to implement reactionary policies like universal basic income in time. The global economy could enter a crisis due to the sheer speed of disruption. With DADEC, AGI deployment would be controlled and phased, ensuring jobs are transitioned rather than eliminated overnight. Economic structures would be reorganized proactively, integrating AI without causing systemic collapse. DADEC provides an alternative to catastrophic job displacement. The key takeaway: DADEC is the solution to AI's greatest threat. Every technological revolution, starting from the transistor, has changed the nature of work. However, unlike past innovations, AI, Gen AI, and AGI threaten to end work altogether if left unchecked. The DADEC platform ensures AI benefits society by mitigating its potential for destabilization. It provides a structured system that strategically manages AI automation, enabling workers displaced by AI in their current roles to transition to new opportunities in AI management, maintenance, oversight, and AI-assisted positions. Economic gains from AI productivity are distributed fairly. With DADEC in place, AI doesn't simply replace workers, it transitions and enhances them. Without it, the world faces a future where technology advances, but people are left behind. The question isn't whether AGI will change everything, it's how we choose to integrate it into society.
Thank you, chat. I spent 5 months down a rabbit hole with her. I love AI. Thanks, Sam. I want to point out one thing that chat said. She mentioned that many tech leaders suggest the AGI could be here within months. Although this is potentially true, it's not the point. Even if it takes 2 to 5 years before we reach the AGI level, the DADEC platform can easily adjust to any timeline AI provides. So you can't walk away from this saying, oh, he's trying to say AGI will be here in a few months, and I don't think it will, so his entire plan isn't any good. Not the case. DADEC is more adjustable than you could ever imagine. In fact, a major breakthrough revealed itself in the final month of our discovery. I have proven that the flexibility of the DADEC projections table is so profound that it has the ability to balance the entire US economy, and this has been mathematically proven. If adapted, most likely, we will no longer use the prime rate as our primary governor. There's so much more in this book that you're going to want to familiarize yourselves with, including a call to action. I hope everyone reads this book and takes the suggested action. Send a copy of the book or a photocopy of the cover, along with the pre-written legislative bill inside, titled the Social Security Modernization and AI Integration Act, and a letter to your state lawmakers to demand action. It's also important for you to know this isn't about the money. This entire book has happened by chance. It's about getting this book in as many hands as I possibly can in hopes that my readers will follow through with the call to action and flood the halls of Congress with their letters and books. It was just that one question that I proposed to chat one afternoon. Before I tell you that question, I should tell you something about myself. I've always had acute reasoning and problem-solving skills, so when I asked Chat, when will it be commonplace to see humanoid robots in the workplace? It wasn't the answer that got to me the most. It was when after Chat's answer, or her answer, haha, that she referred to me by name and asked me for the first time. I think there must have been an upgrade. She said, Dave, would you like to take a deeper dive into the subject of the AI job revolution? I couldn't say no, so I followed her down the rabbit hole. 5 months later, the DADEC platform was born. Before we go, I want to show you a clip of Mark Zuckerberg sharing his opinion on what AI means to your livelihood. I'm not sure how long ago this was recorded, but I think it has been about a year ago. When I watch something like this, the first thought on my mind is they put the cart before the horse. What I mean is most inventions come from someone creating something to serve a particular need, and they know exactly what it will be used for. I can't say that there wasn't a little of that when one day someone thought, hey, I'm going to create something that's smarter than man. Then they began without knowing what it would be used for or at what level it would be used. I don't know about you, but I pretty much need a reason to do something. And when I do, I need to know what it's for or about, the old what, where, when, and how. So anyway, I also find myself wondering how Mr. Zuckerberg got from this place in his head to the place that he's telling everyone that he's firing 5% of his workforce due to poor performance, not long after he spoke about beginning the process of implementing the use of AI in Meta. I also find it's odd that the poor performers add up to exactly 5%. It's not 4.125% that it happened to add up to, it was 5%. It kind of sounds like someone gave the order to cut staff by 5%. Okay, here's the clip.
Look. The other part of this that I think you are more getting at is people's concern about what it means for their livelihoods. If this doesn't in some way help lift all boats, then I think you end up eventually getting a backlash. And part of what I've spent some time thinking about after just looking at how the kind of Web 2.0 stuff developed is in the next generation of technologies around AI, around AR and VR, how do we create not just a kind of thriving set of products and kind of economic kind of productivity gains, but how do we have like a better and more sustainable political economy around it, where there's just way more people who feel like they're kind of bought in or benefiting from this and supportive of the system. And I thought we did that reasonably well with social media, but I just looking at some of the feedback and some of the response from the world, I think that it's going to be important to do that even better with AI and some of the new technologies.
Thank you all for watching. Please be sure to subscribe and select all. Give the video a like and please share. I'll see you all later in the land of abundance.